A federal court just delivered a blow to Donald Trump's trade agenda. Judges ruled that his use of emergency powers to impose sweeping tariffs went beyond what the law allows. For years, he sold tariffs as a hammer that could bend the world to America's will. The ruling reminds everyone that even a president faces limits set by the courts and by Congress. Start with the basics. Emergency powers are supposed to be narrow and time-bound. Trump used them as a standing tool of trade policy. The court said that is not how the system should work. If a White House wants lasting tariffs, it must make the case to Congress and the public. Quick fixes may score headlines, but they do not survive legal scrutiny. The business reaction was immediate. Retailers warned that costs would rise for clothing and electronics. Farmers raised fears of retaliation against soybeans and corn. Importers said they cannot plan when tariffs appear overnight by decree. The short message from industry was clear. Stability matters more than swagger. Consumers feel it too. If tariffs stay in place, prices creep up at the checkout line. If they fall, supply chains still need months to adjust. Either way, households pay for the chaos. The court did not rule on economics. It ruled on process. But process is what keeps economic shocks from hitting families at random. Politically, the ruling hurts the image of total control Trump likes to project. America First sounds strong until American companies say the policy backfires. Republicans enjoy tough talk on trade. They get nervous when donors and small businesses complain about real costs. Democrats will use the ruling to argue that Trump is reckless with the economy. Now, look south to the Caribbean. Media reports say the United States has stepped up a naval deployment near Venezuela under an anti-narcotics banner. On paper, that is a law enforcement mission. In practice, the scale and the timing look like pressure on the Maduro government. It tracks with a long tradition of American gunboat diplomacy in the region. Latin America remembers how these stories go. Panama and Grenada are not ancient history. Naval power close to shore is a message. Sometimes it is a warning. Sometimes it is the prelude to deeper involvement. Supporters see strength and deterrence. Critics see a risk of open-ended commitments without a clear plan. Florida politics adds another layer. Venezuelan and Cuban exile communities watch events in Caracas and Havana with urgency. Hardline moves can energize voters. They can also raise expectations that Washington cannot deliver without escalation. A policy built on signaling can turn into a policy that needs action just to save face. There is also a simple trade-off. Every ship that departs for a high-profile mission is a ship that is not training, repairing, or supporting allies elsewhere. Every dollar spent on deployments is a dollar not spent on domestic resilience. If a mission has a clear goal, the trade-off can make sense. If the goal is vague, the trade-off becomes waste. Put the two stories together and a pattern appears. Trump governs through confrontation. With trade, he tries to force outcomes until the courts push back. With foreign policy, he uses visible shows of force to send messages abroad. The style wins attention. It does not always deliver results that help ordinary Americans. Markets hate uncertainty. Allies dislike surprises. Voters grow tired of drama that never resolves. One day, it is a legal fight over tariffs. The next day, it is a naval patrol off South America. The common thread is conflict used as a political brand. The cost is paid by taxpayers, consumers, and service members. What would a better path look like? On trade, work with Congress to target real abuses and set rules that last longer than one court case. On Venezuela, define a limited objective and a clear end state. If the mission is about drugs, measure results against that goal. If the mission is about political pressure, say it openly and explain the risks. Here is the bottom line. The court clipped Trump's wings on tariffs because process matters. The administration is flexing at sea because spectacle matters. Strong leadership is not a headline or a photo of a warship on the horizon. It is a policy that the law supports, that allies can trust, and that voters can understand. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Sharp Angle and turn on notifications. Independent analysis survives only with your support.